Hi everyone, Hedgeman54 here to bring you another commentary, and this time I'm actually not playing in this game. This is actually a tournament, I believe from Korea. Very small tournament, or at least I only saw the round of 8, round of 4, and the finals. This game is actually from round of 8, and here we have Terran player Hyo versus a Protoss player Kkong. And I chose this game because I actually really like how it plays out. The ending, like it was like kind of surprising, but and I think it had good play between both players. A lot of people complain that Korean players are not that good at Starcraft 2, which is kind of surprising because everyone knows they dominate in Starcraft 1, but supposedly they're very mechanical and sticking to typical Brood War strategies. So I honestly don't play a whole lot of StarCraft Brood War. I never really did, so I can't tell you whether these are typical Brood War strats, but I like them nonetheless. So the Protoss player, as you can see, is not what people call proxying. Proxy is when you create a gateway near the enemy and just start pumping units out that way. Terran going for the supply depot barracks, supply depot blocking off his ramp, and the Protoss player scouting early, very good, but I noticed the Terran player isn't scouting. He ends up doing that later. Let me speed up the beginning part a little bit so it's not quite as boring. Mostly resource gathering. Alright, so interesting, he goes for a tech lab. I noticed that a lot of the Terran players, they go for Marauders first rather than Marines. I'm not really sure why. They do that against Protoss. Maybe it's effective. It probably is effective against Zealots because Marauders, they're shot slow units down, and Zealots are already slower than typical units. So they pretty much render them effective if you're just doing Marauders and like shooting and running away, shooting. I don't think a Zealot will ever touch you. And here Kkong goes for the pylon gateway and then gets a cybernetics core and immediately starts researching the warp gate. Warp gate allows you to basically warp units in, either zealots or stalkers, anywhere you have like a pylon. So I've seen a lot of players, they build pylons near the enemy base and then they just start warping in a bunch of units from their warp gate. So here you see the Terran player building a command center on the cliff. This is actually a typical strategy. Oh, you just saw he was trying to build a bunker for his expo, and then he cancelled it as the Stalker and Zealot attacked. And yeah, he's not going to get by the Marauder and the Marine with his ramp blocked off. But I was saying, the command center, Terrans usually build it in their main base and then lift it off and then plant it wherever they want their expansion to be, because you're not really exposing your building command center. If you just started building it right here, someone could just come up and attack it. But instead, you can just uplift it, plant it, and if you get attacked by Zerglings or something, you just lift it off again. And he's building a bunker as kind of like a little defense, and you can see this probe comes in, sees the command center is about to land, and then he gets under it and then builds a pylon there so he can't plant it there. That was a very nice play. But then Terran quickly comes over, kills it so he can plant his expansion command center. Now the Protoss is expanding as well, and now he's got a robotics facility. He still doesn't have a whole lot of units. He's only got 2 gateways. Typically you'll see advanced Protoss players getting like 8 warp gates, mid-game, and then they just start warping in a whole bunch of units. But yeah, right now he's only got 2, building a 3rd, and going for robotics bay. That should allow him. Well, no, he can already build observers, and he's building one right now. I've seen a lot of Protoss players. They go for that Colossus there on the end. Yeah, that requires the Robotics Bay. That Colossus, this incredible damage to infantry units like Marauders or Marines. It'll just slaughter them. It has 2 lasers that shoot at once, doing 23 damage, and Marines only have like 50 health. So, and it does like AOE. I'm not sure if it does AOE. It might do AOE. So it's really effective against infantry units. You have to get anti-air against Colossi because Colossi are so tall that I guess that allows anti-air units to shoot them as well. What I was kind of wondering is whether missile turrets shoot Colossi. That I'm not sure. And there, he just salvaged a bunker. I'm not really sure why. At least I think he salvaged it. Yeah, I'm sure he salvaged it. It gives you, I'm not sure how much it gives you back. I know supply depots, they give you 100% of your money back, but bunkers, I'm not positive how much it gives you back, but you get money back from salvaging. So now he's building, the Protoss player is building the Colossi, or the Colossus, and researching extended thermal lance for the Colossi as well. I'm not sure what that does. Might extend the range on the Colossus. It's already pretty big. Oh, it's 6 right now. 23 damage. Yeah, I think it extends it to 9, if I'm not mistaken. And he's using the Chrono Boost on it from his Nexus to make it go faster. If you don't know Chrono Boost, you can cast it from your Nexus on any building, and it allows it to build or research more quickly than normal. So now he's got what, 5 Zealots, 3 Stalkers, and a Colossus in front of his expansion. And Terran has quite a few Marines, looks like 13 maybe, and 4 Marauders. He's got a starport. You should probably start pumping some Vikings out. Sensor tower. Sensor tower will allow him to detect any units within the radius here, and once they move in, he'll see red dots moving in the fog of war. So right now he can see the Protoss player moving along towards his expansion. I'm not sure if he can take that. He's got 2 Colossi, but he's got a planetary fortress which will defend against ground units that get too close. There it goes. But Colossi doing a lot of damage, but he's getting damaged pretty hard. He's using the planetary fortress to focus the Colossi. It's almost dead. But look